Okay, so. Okay, so now it's on the recording on YouTube that Philip didn't know that we didn't have school on Monday. Okay, so just like Mr. Easton was going over with you in the beginning of class, okay, if I want to find out the missing terms in here, I could just multiply. So 32 times, let's see what our common ratio is. 2 times, thank you, 4 is 8. Let's check. 8 times 4 is 32. So R is 4. So in a calculator, tell me, 32 times 4. Get those calculators out. What math thing? My math sense? But we're focusing on calculators today. Yes, I would use my math sense. Number sense. Thanks. 128. And the next one? 512. We don't need this one? Okay. And? Alrighty. So, we only were missing one term here. So there's a way to be able to do this without, I guess you'd say, what did Mrs. Miramontes say about an investigation, a mathematical investigation rather than a guess and check? Okay. Testing values. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. All right. So I'm going to try a different approach here. I'm going to leave this up here, though. Okay. So my different approach is I'm going to use this geometric sequence to find R. So I know what A sub n is. It's 512. And I know what A sub 1 is. It's 2. And we found our R. It's 4. So now I just need to figure out what n is. So no writing. I hear too much shuffling. I just need you paying attention and giving me your full attention. Okay. So the first thing I want to do, I want to figure out how much 4 to the what is going to equal this side. So this is what I'm mainly concerned with right here. So the first step I want to do is I want to get rid of that 2. So in order to get rid of that 2, I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So when I divide by 2, I get 256. Am I right? Okay, everybody see that? So now I'm just dealing with 2 different things, right? One on this side, one on that side. I want to figure out I want them to be the same on both sides. Okay, let me go back here. We know that each one of these is being multiplied by 4. I'm going to erase them. Okay? So do you see why, in order to find out how many R's I need to get rid of that 2? Okay, we're going to come back to it and see if you can see it. All right, so 4 to the what makes 256. Let's figure it out in our calculators. So some of you don't know how to use calculators, so I wanted to make sure that I go over everything with you. So 4, let me turn this off. So 4, I would put 4 in my calculator first. And then there's this little caret button. That's what we call it. The caret button's right here. You see it, what I'm pointing to? 4 to the, let's see, let's make a guess. 3? I know. 4 to the third, and I'm going to push equals. And I get 64. Is 64 big enough? No, we need to go bigger. 256. So 4 to the 4th. Let's try that one. Bingo, 256. Now check this out. So 4 to the 4th equals 256. So we call these common bases. They are the same. So we want to make these the same, because that's the only way an equal sign works, right? If these are the same, then these have to be the same. Okay. Now that's the way I would do it. I would think, well, if I want this to be the same and this one's subtracting, then n would have to be 5. Because 5 minus 1 is 4, right? That's looking at it intuitively like it would have to be just one bigger because it's subtracting. So 5 minus 1 is 4. Now if you wanted to do it procedurally, you could say to yourself, okay, I want to seriously know what would make them equal. Then you would just look at it like that. Add 1 to both sides. I think some of you like this, and some of you would rather do this. I would hope that we could move from this to this, because then you're really thinking about the math, right? Rather than just doing something procedural because you see an equal sign. All right, so what did all of this tell us? It told us how many terms there were. There are 5 terms. Let's try another one. Let's try this one. I want to know how many terms there are. So I'm going to use my formula. I have the first one, I have the last one, I have R, so I just need to find N. Okay, so our first one, our last term is 18,750. Big number, right? Our first term is 6. Have you guys figured out R yet? Good. Let's check. Times 5 is 30. 30 times 5 is 150. Okay, so can anybody raise your hand and tell me what I have to do first before we can try and figure out how many 5s I need? What do we need to get rid of? Allison. The 6, right? This is too much information for us. So I happen to know that 18,750 has to be divisible by 6 because I know I can factor out that first term. Okay, because this is really a sequence of this. 6 times R times R times R times R times, right? That's what this is. So I know for sure that's divisible by 6. Then once I get rid of it, I can figure out how many R's are being multiplied by each other. Okay, so if I do that for me, 18,750 divided by 6. Say it again. 3125, thank you. Okay. How many 5s is that? Don't scream it out. You guys investigate. Investigate. Does everybody have a calculator? It said so on the board when you came in. It had a little calculator, right? And go get one. Back there. Oh, we just purchased a full class set of calculators, and there's one missing from yesterday. I understand how things can just go into your backpack when you're packing up really, really quickly. Does anybody have it? So it could be from the other class. Okay. I don't want you guys using your phones. I want you learning how to use a calculator, because you can't use your phone on a quiz and a test. Yes, Dylan? Oh, just gather them. I'm going to grade them later. Thank you. I'm going to teach you how to grade them, but how many of you have an answer? Not yet. And I'm trying to find out what N is. I'm going to pause it. Okay, so I knew my last term was 1 over 1,024. I knew my first term was 1/4. In order to find R, 1 divided by 1 is 1. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Sorry, 8 divided by 4 is 2. Answering it the wrong way. Let's look back at that. 1/4 to 1/8 to 1/16 down. It's getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. I don't think I saw it in this class, but in last class some people put 2. What would this look like if this was 2? It'd be getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right? It's getting smaller and smaller and smaller, so you guys did really good on that. 1/2. Okay, to the n minus 1. Do you want me to keep going? You guys want to try it? What's the next, okay, class, what's the next step? Yeah, let's get rid of the 1/4 together. If I want to get rid of it, I would do the inverse, which is 4 over 1. So basically, there's a 4 in there, right? So factor out of 4. What's 1024 divided by 4? Thank you. All right. Finish it for me. Do you need some more scaffolding? There's several ways to do it. Talk it out amongst yourselves.
Not the first term, not the second term, not the third term.
What? Oh. I'm still not absolutely sold on we should be spending so much time on this. You know what I mean? But it's something that when they get into math analysis, they're going to be able to know how to do these kinds of things and working. They can't guess and check their way through everything. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's worth it for that. No, but sometimes we have to stop and do stuff and relate it to how you could find it that way, right? Okay. Okay, so can I see it on your whiteboard? Did you guys solve for n? It's not perfect yet. It doesn't have to be perfect. Let's see it. Come on. Okay. You guys are not doing a good job at just being really, really honest and just show me your board. Why do we do whiteboards? I need to know how fast and how slow to go. So if I can't see your mistakes, I think, oh, you guys got it. If you don't show me your board, you might as well tell me that you're done. Let's just keep going. Okay? And I think with some of you, it's the opposite. So I got to see your board. Come on. If you've written nothing, it tells me volume. Okay, so we're not all there yet. That's okay. So you should have been trying to figure out how much 1/2 to the what power is to get to 1 divided by 256. Okay, so your attention again, listen up. I want to share with you how to use these calculators. So normally, I would just say to myself, 2 to the what makes 256. Can you guys see it? Yes or no? Sorry. I am trying to find 1/2. I'm going to get back to that in 1 second. This is the way I would do it. I'm thinking out loud, okay? And I am recording. Okay, so 2 to the, let's try 4th. 2 to the 4th is 16. Okay, that's not big enough. 2 to the 7th, 128. I'm close. So 2 to the 8th, 256. Bingo. So that tells me, yes, that tells me, sorry, I'm going slow here. Let's use blue. I used red before, but it's going to make it so it's not pretty. Okay. So if 2 to the 5th is 256, some of you were asking me, well, Mrs. Muller, why didn't you do 1/2 to the 5th? Well, when you distribute that exponent of 5, 1 to the 5th is going to be 1. So you're not really concerned about that, right? You could, and I'm going to show you how to do it right now, but just give me 1 second. All right. So if these are common bases, then my exponents are equal. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know why I'm stuck on 5. You guys are awesome. Okay. 8, thank you. So if 1/2 is equal to 1/2, then 8 is equal to n minus 1, so n must be 9. All right, I'm going to go back to this and show you how you do something in your calculator. Okay, so if you're dealing with anything that's got fractions, you want to use parentheses. Parentheses are your friends. So everybody look up here. Everybody up here. I need eyes up here. Christopher. Okay, parentheses. 1 divided by 2, end parentheses. I have now got 1/2. The numerator and the denominator are both being captured by parentheses. So I'm now talking about the whole fraction. Okay? Then I take and do the caret to the power of 8 equals some crazy decimal. If I want to reevaluate that decimal and turn it back into a fraction, there's this probability button, PRB. Above it, it has an F and then an arrow and then a D. It says fraction to decimal and decimal to fraction. So you hit the second button and that F to D, D to F button, and then enter. See what comes up? Answer F to D. 1 over 256. You can do that, yes. Yeah. Oh, I've got you guys. It feels like everybody has a piece of paper wound up and they're throwing them at me. When everybody starts yelling at me, it feels like everybody's throwing something at me. So just, okay. I will do it again. Oh, you're talking about this button here? Okay, I'm gonna do it the other way. Guys, if you know another way, that's good. This is the way we're gonna do it right now. Okay. So for parentheses, 1 divided by 729. No, 256. 1 divided by 2. 1 divided by 2 and parentheses. The caret button to the power of 8 equals, you get a big decimal, then you hit second, FD equals, and it puts it into a fraction. Yes? I'm not going to do that. Okay. I only have 7 minutes and I have to get going. Let's do one more. And we're going to talk about stigma for a very brief moment. Okay, I want pencils down. I want this one. I'm going to do this one for you because I want it to be for your homework because I'm going to post it on School Loop, but I'm going to go real quickly. So you by now should be able to be thinking through my process at the same time. And I'm only doing this because of the time. All right, so I don't know how many terms I have. So I'm going to use my formula, right? It's my explicit formula for geometric. I'm using it to find n. So I have my last term, which is 7 over, 2 over 729 equals, I have my first term, which is 2/3. I know how much r is if I look at the relationship. 2 divided by 2 is just 1. It's not changing. It's just 2 times 1, 2 times 1, 2 times 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Let's double check. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. That's what I have. This is too much stuff. I just want my 1/3 so I can figure out how many 3's I need. So I'm going to get rid of the 2/3 by multiplying by the reciprocal, or the inverse, which is 3/2. That works well over here because the 2's cancel. And I know for sure that 3 goes into 729 because it was part of that first term. Wait 1 second. Going through the process. So 729, do it in a calculator for me, please. 243. So 1 over 243 is equal to 1/3 to the n minus 1. All right. I need to know, this needs to change to a 3. I just don't know how many 3's it's going to do it for me. So that they match. Has anybody figured it out yet? 3 to the what makes 243? 3 to the what makes 243? Three to the 5? So if 3 to the 5 makes 243, and I know that 5 has to be equal to n minus 1, then n must equal 6. Okay, so why are we using all of this? Because we don't know how many terms we need. You like it? Good. Okay, so all that work just so we can figure out how many terms we have. All right, so let's use it really quick. So I am trying to find my sum of all of these terms added together. I just discovered from using the explicit formula that I have actually 6 terms. So I'm going to use that. My formula up here for the sum of a geometric series uses the first term, which is right here, 2/3. This one's going to be ugly. 2/3, 1 minus my r, which we figured out was 1/3, always in the middle, or always in the parentheses right there. Sorry. To the n, which is, and whenever I have fractions, I'm on the safe side. I'm always putting parentheses around. All over 1 minus 1/3. And this is what you had to get to on your homework. So let's put it down. Okay, so now we're going to evaluate, and I'm going to model it for you with a calculator. put it over here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take care of everything inside of the parentheses, right? Everything on the inside of the parentheses. So I want to find 1/3 to the 6th power. Now, I hope you guys have realized now that I don't need to put 1/3 to the 6th. I can just put 3 to the 6th. Correct? What? 3 to the 6th power is 729. So I'm going to rewrite this. 2/3, 1 minus 1 over 729, all over, let's evaluate this too. 1 minus 1/3. This can be really 3/3. So 3/3 minus 1/3 is 2/3, which is really convenient because I have a quantity times something else. So this is straight multiplication up here. These two cancel out. So something that looks really ugly is really not that bad. All I'm left with is this. A 1 is actually 729 over 729 minus 1 over 729 equals 728 over 729. Why? Okay. Okay, so let's just go over a few things you need to finish up your homework. All right, so I need the a sub 1. In order to get the a sub 1, I use this first number in here. So a sub 1 is 2 to the 1/2. I'm going to substitute 4 in for I, which equals 4 minus 1 is 3. 1/2 to a 1/3 is 1/8. 2/8 equals 1/4. So that's where 1/4 goes. Then I need R. R is always inside of the parentheses. Always. Never fails. The last thing I need is N. N, if I start at 4, and then I go to 5, 6, 7, is 4. To the 4th power. And of course, you can put parentheses in there. That's all you need. This is just a big giant thing, big giant symbol saying, look at all this information I have for you. Okay? Have a great weekend, guys.